Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. In this video, we are going to practice using the present tense of irregular yo verbs. So as you're learning the present tense in Spanish, you'll find that there's all these different categories of verbs. We started off with AR, ER, and IR verbs, regular AR, ER, and IR verbs, that is. You learn the patterns and you figure out how to do those, and you find out there are some that have spelling changes. They follow the pattern, but they have some slight spelling changes. Then you learn the stem changers. Here we're working on the irregular yo verbs, and then you'll find that there are also some that are just plain irregular and you have to memorize. So I do have videos for all these different categories. If you're working on the present tense, go back to my homepage and you'll find those other videos. Okay, for this topic, be sure that you've studied the irregular yo verbs out of your textbook. There's also a grammar tutorial video. If you are joining us from outside of the course and you don't have any materials, you can just Google irregular yo verbs and you'll find some websites or YouTube videos that talk about irregular yo verbs. And when you're ready to practice, then come here. That's the purpose of this video. We're going to practice a little bit with irregular yo verbs. So let's start out with just a little bit of review here. So hacer is kind of the prototypical irregular yo verb. So you'll notice that in the yo form, there's this G here that doesn't really follow the rest of the pattern, and that's why it's irregular. It's different than the other parts of the pattern. So you just have to memorize that. If I want to say I do or I make, hacer means to do or to make, I will say yo hago. Yo hago. Remember, for hacer, the H is silent, so we don't pronounce it. You have to imagine it's not there as far as pronunciation goes. So we have hago, haces, hace, hacemos, hacéis, hacen. Okay, once you've memorized it, then you're ready to go. So let's practice a little bit with this verb hacer. If you wanted to ask someone the question, what do you do or what are you doing? Using the verb hacer and using usted, what would the question be? What do you do? What are you doing? ¿Qué hace usted? ¿Qué hace usted? What do you do? What are you doing? ¿Qué hace usted? If the subject were tú, the informal you, the you that you use with someone you know well, friend or a family member, what do you do? What are you doing would be ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? What do you do? What are you doing? ¿Qué haces? If the subject were vosotros, if you're in Spain, what do you do? What are you doing? ¿Qué hacéis? ¿Qué hacéis? Now, in Latin America, the C is like an S sound, but in Spain, they would actually pronounce it a little differently. They would say, ¿Qué hacéis? ¿Qué hacéis? ¿Qué hacéis? What do you do? What are you doing? For ustedes. ¿Qué hacen ustedes? ¿Qué hacen ustedes? What do you do? What are you doing? ¿Qué hacen ustedes? Now again, remember, hacer means to make or to do, just depending on the context. For example, in the expression hacer la tarea, that means to do homework. So we're going to practice with that one. I do homework. ¿Cómo se dice? I do homework. Remember, it's an irregular yo, so hago. Hago la tarea. Hago la tarea. I do homework. Hago la tarea. Remember, this can also mean I'm doing the homework at the moment. She does homework. She does do homework. She is doing homework. Ella hace la tarea. Ella hace la tarea. We do homework. Hacemos la tarea. Hacemos la tarea. We do homework. Hacemos la tarea. You do homework. ¿Cómo se dice? You do homework. Usted hace la tarea. Usted hace la tarea. You do homework. Usted hace la tarea. If you want to ask the question, do you do homework? Or are you doing the homework? ¿Hace usted la tarea? ¿Hace usted la tarea? Do you do homework? Are you doing the homework? ¿Hace usted la tarea? This is the informal you. You do homework. You are doing homework. Haces la tarea. Haces la tarea. You do homework. Haces la tarea. Now the question, do you do homework? Are you doing the homework? ¿Haces la tarea? ¿Haces la tarea? Remember, there's a slight rise in the intonation when you ask a question as opposed to making a statement. ¿Haces la tarea? ¿Haces la tarea? Okay, so now that you're familiar with the irregular yo verb hacer and you've memorized the forms, all you have to do is just memorize some of the other common irregular yo verbs, and those are salir, poner, and traer. So notice all of the yo forms here are irregular. Hago, salgo, pongo, traigo. For the rest of the forms, they function as any other regular verb would. Any other regular ER or IR verb. Okay, well that's it. Remember, if you didn't get them all right in the practice part of the video, go back to the beginning and play it again until you're able to come up with all the right answers before I show you the answer, and then you've really learned something. That's it for this video. Adios.